Thunder to their 50th win of the season, a 137-128 final over Houston. Oak City's won 4 in a row in 8 of 10. They matched the Cavaliers in wins. Cleveland is 50-10 atop the Eastern Conference. They're on the road tonight visiting the Bulls. NFL, the Bengals have put the franchise tag on White Higgins for the second straight year. Reports say the Vikings likely won't put the franchise tag on Sam Darnold. Baseball spring training, the Astros say Jose Altuve will play mostly in left field this year. He's a 9-time All-Star, a 3-time batting champion, and the 2017 AL MVP. All but 2 of his more than 1,700 games in the majors have come at second base. Atlanta starting catcher Sean Murphy will miss 4 to 6 weeks with a rib injury. Bundle auto and home, renters, or condo and save with Progressive.
That's the Sports Grid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit GetEthos.com. That's GetEthos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking.
You've heard of smart bombs, smartphones, smart cars, smart watches, and smart glasses. Now you can add smart player, giving you sports gaming strategies and information 24/7.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
The only place in football where the offense is always on the field is on Moneyline. With the 2 best hosts in radio, Donnie Rightside.
If anybody wasn't watching, let's not know what you were doing.
And Kevin Walsh.
Forget act like you've been there before.
On the SportsGrid Radio Network, SiriusXM Channel 159.
Best hour every day officially now underway. It is a Tuesday right here on the SportsGrid Network. It's Moneyline, Donnie Rightside, along with Kevin Walsh. Interesting topics, we get to them. But the latest news, which seems to like to break every time we get on the show, Kyrie Irving and the Dallas Mavericks. Oh, what'd they do? What'd they do? They didn't do anything except a torn ACL for Kyrie Irving, who played 9 minutes last night, left the game in tears. And this franchise, who has gone through Mark Cuban selling the team, I don't know, maybe he knew something. Maybe he was clairvoyant at this point, to Luka Doncic, your hero, knight in white shining armor, down there in Dallas, trading him over to Los Angeles to get Anthony Davis, a very good NBA player, who immediately got injured. To saying, okay, we have our big 2, Kyrie Irving and also Anthony Davis will carry us through. Kyrie tears his ACL. It's March 4th. ACL tears, coming back perfect, probably well over a year. So maybe remove Kyrie even from next year's version of the Dallas Mavericks and the Dallas Mavericks organization. Kevin goes, hey, you know what? Before this all happens, by the way, you're going to pay about 10% more in your season tickets next year. Hello, Mavs fans today.
Yeah, I feel terrible for Mavs fans. Like, I know occasionally. No, I actually do. I do. I understand DRS that you don't, because that's just not your style. And I'm not taking a shot at all. I know that's not your style. You were in the NBA Finals last year. And the way the NBA works, a player like Luka Doncic, you go, all right, we're going to be back here 3, 4, 5 more times. Like that. Like that's truly the expectation. And then, boom, he's gone. And that's rocked a lot of their fans. Like, their fans have absolutely given up. I can't even come up with a comparison, really, that where people be like, oh, okay, I don't know. But Buffalo trading Josh Allen, maybe. Like, just being like, I'm not sure this works.
Like, what would it, like, I guess it would, like, if we're looking at, like, major trades that just were, like, so shocking, right?
Yeah.
Like, you were too young. Obviously, not even born at that point. Like, Wayne Gretzky to Los Angeles. Like, sent shockwaves. Like, Canada was in, like, disrepair mourning for like months after that. Like the shining star, our brightest, superstar, native born in Edmonton, shipped off to the Kings, not because it made the Oilers a better team without Wayne Gretzky, and what they got back was because the owner made bad business choices and had to sell him to a United States team that would buy him from them, which was horrible. Like that's like, and again, we're not Babe Ruth to the Yankees. Like, come on, it's 1920. Like, we're not going back to that. But when you're talking about like trades, Doncic, I can't imagine a previous one more hurtful than Doncic, which you have to go back again to 1988. The best player in hockey history got traded. Yeah. That's how devastating it is.
But the follow-up, Donnie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
AD's first game through 3 quarters looked out of this world. And you go, you know what, man? Like, if you're a Mavs fan, Don, you're like, man, let's just rally around this guy, right? Let's rally around this guy. Let's try and stay. Oh, he's injured already. All of your worst nightmares around AD, the stuff that surrounded him for his entire NBA career in game number 1. You're like, all right, well, we do still have a pretty talented. Oh, Derek Lively's already out. All right, well, hopefully Gafford can. Oh, he's out now. All right, well, here's the deal, man. We got the play in. Kyrie's out there. He's giving us like 40 minutes tonight. Well, PJ Washington's a little banged up. Yeah, but Max Christie's playing well. We might be able to figure this out. Well, Max Christie's coming off the bench. Why? I don't know. Clay's hot. All right, well, hopefully Kyrie can torn ACL. They are going to miss the playoffs entirely. They're going to miss the playoffs entirely. You just said it, Donnie. The Kyrie, let's be like the most optimistic approach for Kyrie Irving is he is back by next Christmas. Yeah. Okay. So now you're going into, and if you're the Mavericks, Donnie, are you making more all-in type moves? You know, people, Kevin Durant, Okay. Well, what are you moving on to make that happen? And also, again, have the Mavericks now put themselves in a position, Donnie, where players like, I don't know if I want to go there. I don't know if I want to play as a Dallas Maverick because of the Luka deal, and now I don't feel like I have any control in my situation. Donnie, it's very on the board that the team who was last year in the finals, led by a 25-year-old phenom, have now seen their NBA title window close. That's devastating.
It is devastating. Like, the toughest thing to think about, too, is, like, it takes 2 to tango. Like, it's like, all right, we're going to move on from Luka Doncic. They had to know something where maybe it was, we've seen players change, like, organizations, teams, and cities and sort of, like, recenter themselves, right? I always remember back in the day with the Philadelphia Eagles in the late 80s, early 90s, Chris Carter. Like, the Eagles got rid of Chris Carter when he was an unbelievable football player because, as Chris Carter will tell you to this day, Buddy Ryan saved my life. Bad situations, bad habits, running with bad people, doing bad things. I had to get out of town. He understood that, saved my career, went on to a Hall of Fame career in Minnesota. I'm not saying like Luka had even any sort of those type of issues, but did they just see like, you know what, we're going to invest so much money in this guy. Maybe he doesn't like to practice as hard as he's doing right now. We keep telling him he needs to work out a little bit more. You always saw I think it was Michael Finley taking the beer after they won a playoff series. It was just like something was unhealthy with Luka and the Mavericks, but he was still their superstar and the fans loved him so much. But you just don't make that organizational decision like, hey, he's 25 years old. We're going to have him for another 10 years. He's a superstar. No matter what, our building will be sold out, Kevin. And just make the move to the Lakers for Anthony Davis, who is a good player, but that like shocked that team to its foundation. And now it's like, if you are the general manager, you're like, okay, got Kyrie, got AD, got some good pieces around them. Trust me, guys, we'll play the season out. We'll make changes in the offseason. But now we have our big 2. Center, who can go both offensively and defensively and do it well. Kyrie Irving, one of the better guards in the NBA. Trust me, this is going to work. Only for AD to get hurt right away after having a monster first half. Kyrie ACL, which isn't like, hey, you know what? Shoulder reconstruction, Kevin. He'll be back, working out by August. Like, this wipes out his next year of him playing at the highest level. That's what's terrible about this.
And he's a relatively speaking older player.
Yes.
Right? So you don't know if he's going to be the same guy. And, I wasn't kind of he's been leading the league in minutes now, Donnie, right, for a while. Luka injury plus Luka trade. So, and here's the other thing that is kind of digging the knife in a little more. Luka and the Lakers are just keep winning every game. It doesn't, right? It's like, to some degree, there has to be some Mavericks fans who are like, I don't know. I hope they're right. Like, maybe there's something is wrong with Luka. And you're like, nope, he's fine. He's just like, and now he's playing with LeBron and he's with the Lakers. And most Mavericks fans probably hate the Lakers because most NBA fans don't like the Lakers. That's more than, unless you're a Laker fan, right? Like, that's totally reasonable.
Like Yankees.
Yes, 100%. You should hate the Yankees. You should hate the Lakers. As an Eagle fan, when people are like, oh, I hate the Eagles because I hate their fans. Get it. I get it. It'd be crazy to not like you. Yeah. And that's where they sent him. It's like devastating beyond devastating. And I'll just say this. The Mavericks were my preseason title team, and I was fully confident that as long as they were healthy, they had a very real chance to make good on that.
Yeah.
And they blew it up in a way that is still, it's good. Again, like, it's very, very hard to recover with. And I have transferred over to Laker futures that I got good numbers on because I was betting them as people were wondering if Shams got hacked, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I am now.
Stat News tweet: Dallas Mavericks since Christmas. Luka Doncic gets hurt. Derek Lively out indefinitely. Trade away Luka Doncic. Daniel Gafford out indefinitely. Anthony Davis out indefinitely. Kyrie Irving tears ACL. Season from hell, which again compounded where, hey guys, season ticket holders, thank you so much for sticking by us. Next year, pay a little bit more to watch this product or whatever that product is actually going to be. Well, we're underway here on Moneyline. But I got one basketball team at 500 to 1. You want to watch out for it.
We give you expert analysis and information 24 hours a day,
7 days a week.
Any easier and the government would ban us. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Federal authorities in Los Angeles arrested 2 alleged leaders of a criminal organization suspected of smuggling 20,000 people from Guatemala to the U.S. and charging each person as much as $18,000 to get them into the country. Eduardo Domingo Renaj Matul, known as Turco, and his lieutenant Cristobal Mejia Chaz were taken into custody Friday. They have each pleaded not guilty to multiple charges related to smuggling migrants across the border over 5 years. A federal judge ordered the men, who themselves are in the country illegally, jailed without bond until their trial in April. A federal court has ruled that a group of lobster fishermen can sue one of the world's largest seafood watchdog groups for defamation over a report that described Maine lobster as an unwise choice for consumers. The threat to a rare whale species from getting tangled in fishing gear has prompted Monterey Bay Aquarium in California to caution against eating a variety of lobster that New England fishermen have harvested for centuries. I'm Trey Westerberg with the SportsGrid News Flash.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to
You don't have to listen to SportsGrid. You can always go out in the woods at night, look up, and wish on a shooting star. Or you can get the winning edge right here. And you won't find any ticks on you the next day. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Right back at it, people. It's fun here on a Tuesday. It's Moneyline. You guys are tuning in on SportsGrid On Demand. Thank you for doing that. Hit the subscribe button. Talk to us out here. Our guy Aaron's out there as well as Jordan P. Also, if you're watching through the SportsGrid app, fantastic stuff there. SportsGridRadio.com. All the ways to catch us, which includes SiriusXM channel 159. Okay, let's set the table for this one. All right.
Woo!
Yeah. 500 to 1 is now the time to jump in. The Dallas Mavericks, 18.5 games back. They're not going to catch the Oklahoma City Thunder. But also at the same time, there's a team maybe 3.5 games back that sees that window of opportunity. And right now, if I wanted explain who, Kevin, that starting lineup is. Ready for this? Starting at guard, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and superstar Kevin Durant. Come on, buy it in with me. 500-1 NBA championship. They're in the playoffs now, Kevin. 500-1.
No, absolutely not. I thought you were going to give a college basketball team.
Come on.
You can't be serious.
Yeah, but
you
look,
can't be
serious. Troy 4-1 price to win the Sun Belt. But go ahead. Look, we're going to talk about this. Yeah.
But first of all, you were the same guy yesterday who told me the NBA's a 3-team race.
I'm back in now. I'm back in.
Donnie, the Suns don't like.
Yeah.
You know what's going to be funny is when the Suns end up not making the play-in still. Like the Mavericks are going to still end up making it over the Suns.
Nope. I'm telling you right now. But like this morning, I told everybody you need to be on the Pelicans tonight, right? Or not the Pelicans, excuse me. They are playing the Phoenix
Lakers?
Suns. No. Who do Phoenix Suns playing tonight?
Oh, who do the Suns play? The Clippers.
Yeah. Okay, yes. So even the Clippers are playing terrible basketball. Like my guy's sitting this one out tonight, Mr. Powell, Norm's not in the lineup, Big Willie. And I said, you know what? You just can't live with yourself if you back the Suns tonight because it looks like they've given up on the season. But now I feel like they see the Kyrie injury, Kevin Galvin, like team meeting tonight. Now's go time. Like I think we could flip 500 to. I'm getting Durant, Beal, and Booker at 500-1. Kevin, come on now, come on. We can get through this. We can get to the actual playoffs.
I don't think you can.
Oh,
like honestly,
if they get there in the playoffs, come on, big KD.
Hold on, DRS. Let's see if I can get you the other way.
All
if
right.
you're Kevin Durant,
okay,
you see Kyrie go down. You could either A, all right, galvanize the troops, we can make it, or B, yeah, all right, I'm done playing, man. Get out of here. Ain't no way I'm getting injured on this bum team. You got to be joking me. Shut down. See ya. Goodbye.
Like man. I think the NBA was smart, even though the first year LeBron's like, this is the stupidest thing we ever did, but then saved LeBron in a couple of situations where the Lakers actually were a playing team.
It's true.
But you look at it now, right? And you sort of set the table. Like, forget about the Eastern Conference right now, just the West. Like the Mavericks, if Kyrie doesn't go down, like they're going to stay in that 10-7 range. Like they're probably not going to drop out. But like the Suns, Trailblazers, Spurs, Pelicans, and Jazz are like, we don't actually want to get into this. Now it seems like somebody has to get into this now. Does Portland wake up? Like the Spurs are already down Wemby. Like, hey, look, just stay out of this. Let's see if we can get in the lottery, and that's going to be much better for us. Like, it's so fun. Like the conundrum of if it was just the top 8 teams that get in, you're like, okay, we're fine. Timberwolves will battle the Kings and the Clippers and the Warriors for that final spots, and we'll have a good playoff run. But now it's like, you tell me Phoenix with Dallas Mavericks basically going to fall off the face of the earth. They're not going to be able to make up 2.5 or so games over the final, like 20?
Here's my only thing. See, again, like, I don't know how Dallas is going to play this.
Man. But like, why is AD come back?
That's what I was just about to say. Well, he is, though, isn't he? Like, you would think.
Yes. Like, it's hard to, like, you envision, like, the Sixers. Like, hey, by the way, Ben Simmons, you broke your ankle. You're about 4 to 6 weeks. They go, no, this is like a 10-month injury. He's not coming back. Like, it just feels like the smart move would be like they're doing with Joel Embiid. You might be able to tough this out every night, and you might be just fine, but so I mean, why I'm playing you the final 20 games of the season, we're going to win absolutely nothing with a chance for you to, like, hurt your Achilles or something. Like, why would you send them back out there?
No, look, I think that's fair. But they're kind of running amok. I just looked this up on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
You may not care, but I'll just throw it out. By far, hardest remaining schedule left in the NBA.
Okay. Tankathon. Yeah. But see, no, hold on. Look. Let's get it back going again. See, now we can buy into this.
What do you mean?
Galvanizing force. We see the schedule on the wall. We're ready for battle now.
No,
so you can say that if they do make it, Kevin, they're going to be battle tested once they get there.
True.
Man, I did a 180 in the last 20 minutes. I've done a 180 on the Suns.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
No,
since the Kyrie news, I was so out on the Suns this morning with Ben. I just feel like I'm back in at this point. 500-1. Let me see if
I really like a world, Donnie, where you on the early line are like, I'm telling you, this Phoenix team's going to lose out. And on Moneyline, you're like, look, great value on the title price.
Great value. We can play it both
I like that. I like that a lot.
Either way. Pull one of these, like when I'm right, where they bow out or they make a run, one of these is going to be correct here.
Like, you want to talk about weird situations?
Yeah.
Every day on NBA Countdown, they're like, yeah, so this summer, Durant will be traded. Should be interesting. Didn't request a trade. Didn't request one. Just, they're going to get rid of him, though. They know this didn't work. Like, what? What's going on here?
Just playing out the spring. I still can't imagine. Like, they're all three of the big three are healthy, and they stink so bad, the Suns. It's every night you look like, okay, they're got 20 points, 20 here, 18 here. Yeah, we got beat again. And, like, the final thing was like, hey, you know what? Let's rise up in Minnesota. And they got slapped at home. Like, we understand it's over. And now you got to see this because it's so early out there on the West Coast. What? 8:20 a.m. if you're listening right now with a cup of coffee. Suns just maybe they're showing up to the facility early today. Extra jump shots. Come on now. We can get there.
I tell you what, though. So they're starting to add more NBA tabs. Steph Curry tab. LeBron tab.
KD tab.
Bronny James tab. I didn't know we were back in this.
Oh, wait, when did has Bron played? Has he scored? What's he been doing with the Lakers?
He's been playing in the G League, I think, a little bit more.
Oh, wow. He's not on the bench.
Actually, people really got a kick because he played Isaiah Thomas the other day in a G League.
Oh boy!
And so people were like, according to the Centel stuff, like Isaiah Thomas asked Bronny if he could put a good word in with his dad to get him a job with the Lakers and stuff like that, which it was pretty good.
It is pretty good. I tell you, you know what else is pretty good? What's up with the Duke Blue Devils? Why aren't their spreads minus 30 at every game right
it's
now?
Annoying.
That was also a new leader in the clubhouse for MVP of college. Boy.
Loser is kind of a mean-spirited slur. But it doesn't have to stick. Tell them to listen to SportsGrid and fix it.
No, thank you.
Later. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. The SportsGrid Radio Network presents This Date in Sports History.
In 1927, Babe Ruth becomes the highest-paid player in MLB history when he signs a 3-year, $210,000 deal with the Yankees.
Look at it go, my God! Look at it go!
Ruth hit a Major League best 60 home runs in 1927. When told he made more than the U.S. president, he said, well, I had a better year than he did. For SportsGrid Radio, I'm Mike DeMurgis.
The Technology Minute with George Capalbo.
The University of Copenhagen's new AI machine learning model can understand the emotional state of animals just by listening to them. With 89.4% accuracy, it acoustically distinguishes positive and negative emotions from 7 different species, including cows, it's a beautiful day, pigs, stop stealing my slop, and even wild boars. Have you ever had one of those days? This breakthrough universal animal emotion translator, a game changer for barnyard quality of life. You're standing on my foot. Follow me at G Capalbo on X and stay tuned to The Technology Minute for more cool stuff like this.
Moneyline.
Cooler heads prevailed. Stafford stays in L.A.
Yeah, not as much of a fan as it for you. I think the Rams are wildly overrated. Since winning the Super Bowl, they've won 5 games, 10 games, and 10 games. Anyone who acts like they're some perennial Super Bowl contender is basically Joe Lisi, or people who lie to themselves because they are not that.
Catch Moneyline with Donnie Rightside and Kevin Walsh. Weekdays, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific. On the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Winning is no accident.
You've got to be smart about it. It takes a plan.
All centered around expert analysis and trusted information.
That's what you get. Right here.
The winning edge. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
93-60. Final score last night. Duke Blue Devils, Wake Forest Demon Deacons. I told you the three-point line would be open yesterday. Duke shot 39 3-point shots last night and blew out the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Now, when I talk about Duke, Kevin, and say, where are things going good? Where are they going bad? The bad, they lost to Clemson. So it's on the road. Clemson's a good team, 77-71. After that, Cal, 78-57. Stanford, 106-70. Virginia, 80-62. Illinois, 110-67. Miami, 97-60. Florida State, 100-65. Wake 93-60. Tell me more.
I took Wake plus 20.5 last night.
Wow. Did you?
On top of that, on Saturday, my best bet was Coops points, rebounds, and assists.
Oh, and he went off. And last night.
And it was 30.5 going into the Wake game. And I was like, well, I already see how this is going to play out. And that's how it played out, 28-8-7. And they win by a gazillion again.
Slow start.
I can't even... Donnie, they didn't have a point in the first 4 minutes. And the game was tied. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's how this is going to go. They're a wagon, man. At some point, I'm going to wake up and remember that that's who I picked to win the title preseason. But it feels like I keep losing money on their game. So they're now annoying me more than anything than anything else. Now, you said a new favorite for MVP. Is he kind of like start to really separate?
Minus 180 this morning. Like Broom, because again, I don't check daily, but last week Broom was the favorite. And I remember having like Ben and I were talking like, well, best player on the best team in the best conference, and they just keep waxing people to Auburn. So when I actually do a double take this morning, it's like, oh, let me just check out the Wooden Award odds, which is the best college basketball player. Shocked me beyond belief that he was the favorite now, minus 180.
Did you look more into it? You saw what Broom did against Kentucky, or no?
I don't think. What did he do?
9 points on 3 of 9 shooting. Now, that doesn't cut off the season.
I saw a tweet come out on Saturday. Did they have problems with the broadcast? Someone was like, "Oh, he just walked back to the locker room." What was the deal?
The broadcast truck had an issue, and they couldn't broadcast the game for like minutes. I don't know, 10 minutes. Like they just put hockey on in the middle of Kentucky Auburn. Because their broadcast truck at Rupp got messed up. But basically, and let me just make this clear, I don't have money on either side, so I don't really have a dog in the fight with the player of the year. But the race is so close, every single game is moving the number. So Broom had a bad game, despite them winning by a lot at Rupp, and it shifted the number. Cooper only played 20 minutes against FSU. And yet he still kind of made that edge. But here's the thing. Broom tonight plays at A&M. That's a huge marquee basketball game.
It is.
If they win that game and he plays great, it's going to move again. I mean, it just is.
Hey, look, we're one game left. And again, there's no real end. Oh, we can carry it up the next 2 to 3 weeks at this point. Because if we're being honest with ourselves, like Duke should win the ACC. Conference championship, like not regular season, the tournament itself, because although Clemson's good, Louisville's good, but Duke's on another level. I don't think anybody's going to get upset, Kevin, if like Auburn's like, hey, they got knocked out in the second round. Why? Because there's a million good teams in the SEC. 100%. So does that just give him the, hey, Auburn got knocked out round 2, Duke made it to the ACC final and lost, he's automatically the winner?
Yeah. No, I think that's what's going to happen. Again, if Duke loses again, Broom's getting the award. Flat, just like that. If Duke wins out, I think Auburn will need to win out. And I don't think that's fair because they're going to play at A&M, home against Bama, and then an SEC tournament, which is going to feature, probably 2 games against teams that are top 10 in the country, en route. But that's where we are. Which, here's the other thing, and I don't know if it matters, but they're going to end up, Donnie, I think, potentially. Is Duke going to end up the number 1 overall seed? If Auburn loses again?
Yes.
Because then is that, and I don't get too, but like all of a sudden then if you're the number 1 overall seed, you get to pick where you go. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
Is that how that works?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So everyone just keeps assuming Duke's going to go in the East because they have the fans there, but they might just take the South. And then it's just going to throw the whole stuff in disarray.
Yeah, it's funny. And all those, like, Auburn has so many quad 1 victories. Like, every night is just an absolute banger that they have. They got A&M on the road, which is no slouch, even though they have a losing streak. And then Alabama to end the season before they get to the conference championships. Goodness. We'll be right back.
It's easy to get SportsGrid almost anywhere with our mobile app.
So give us a break. We're not going to tap your screen for you. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. Men's top 25 hoops. Number 2 Duke beat Wake Forest 93-60. The Blue Devils claim at least a share of the ACC regular season crown. They're 18-1 in the conference. Clemson and Louisville right behind them at 16-2. Clemson ranked number 11 in this week's AP Top 25. Visits Boston College tomorrow, while number 14 Louisville is home against Cal. Duke closes out the regular season on Saturday against North Carolina. The Tar Heels and SMU are tied at 12-6 in the conference. SMU's home against Syracuse tonight, while the Tar Heels visit Virginia Tech. Number 3 Houston won its 9th straight, a 65-59 win over Kansas. L.J. Cryer had 22 points. The Cougars have wins in 22 of 23. Bundle auto and home, renters, or condo, and save with Progressive. That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit GetEthos.com. That's GetEthos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
How to tell if you have the winning edge. Take a sheet of paper, crumple into a ball, throw it at a trash can. Even if you miss, so long as you're listening to us, you have it. Get the winning edge. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Talking college basketball, pretty good stuff tonight on as well, but conference tournaments start. Kevin, by any chance, have you seen the Sun Belt Conference? Have you taken a look at them at all?
No, what's going on? What's up with Sun
It's really
Belt?
interesting. Yeah, they play every game in the tournament is at a neutral site. It's in Pensacola. But they bring their entire conference.
Okay.
So if you are last, I believe it's like, I don't want to get, maybe it's UL Monroe, Louisiana, and like Coastal Carolina, the bottom like 3 teams. If Coastal Carolina wants to make the big dance, Kevin,
okay,
they got to win 7 straight games in 7 straight days.
Get out
Have
of
you
here.
ever heard of that? Have you ever heard of that before?
Oh, is that thing? I think I saw Ben tweet out the bracket.
Yeah,
That's
we
so
were doing it this morning.
man.
7, because they bring everybody. But the thing I do like that they do, Kevin, is there's about, I don't know, it's the top 4 seeds. Top 2 seeds. Like they're all the way up front. Like they're in the Final Four already. The top 2 seeds where everybody has to play behind you.
I
You're
hate
trying
that
to make
too.
sure that I like that because you're giving your best teams a chance. But like in that league, I take a look at a team like Troy, who I think is either the 3rd or the 4th seed. They don't get as much opportunity as the 1 or 2, but they play like the day before, get their feet wet on the court, pick up a game, momentum for the next game where the other team hasn't played in like a week. So they're at a 4-1 price. They do have some things really nice. Even though Arkansas State technically, I think, is the best team in conference, number 1 in defense, number 1 on offense, and number 2 on defense. But I thought that was so intriguing. Like the 4 teams finished at 13-5. So you had to sort of break it down one way where the 3rd and 4th teams got a little bit of a bad break, even though they were tied in conference play. But I just got a kick out of like, can you imagine? Like, hey, we made the tournament. Did you do it the hard way? Yeah, we won 3 games in 3 days. No, you won 7 games in 7 straight days. Could you sue? Like, is that like over? Like, hey, these kids are just like, you know what I mean? They're detrimental to their health.
Yeah, what a disaster, man. I don't know. That just sounds ridiculous. But it's like, oh, well, don't worry. They won't go that far. But also what you just said, too, like, this is where the stuff to me is always, when you do things that take level footing away in a nature that is very uncommon to your sport, right? Where it's like, oh, man, our 1 seeds are going to be so pumped up. They get a week off.
Mhm.
And they're playing, well, we're playing the third best team now, who's just as good, but they got a week to get it under their belt and say, well, yeah, our 1 seed didn't make it. All right. Again, like it's the baseball thing. Now, I know this year baseball we got Yankees Dodgers, thankfully. But it was like every year, if you had a bye, apparently you forgot how to play baseball, despite being the best team in baseball all year. It's like,
and
I wonder why.
Like, we gave them off 3 days. Like, I don't even know how to play baseball anymore.
Correct. Yeah. But that is how these teams are. They're like, I don't know what's going on. Like in the NFL, a bye is normal.
The most
that's why
important
it's
thing. Yeah.
Correct. Like that's why it's normal. Like again, imagine if Donnie, they send the Thunder home for 6 weeks.
Yes. And they just appear in the Western Conference Finals. Like, man, they got swept.
SGA, like I don't like it.
SGA was 225. Now he's 265. What did you do, SGA?
Legitimately be like, it'll be mid-May the next time we see the Thunder and Cavs. You'd be like, I don't even know did anyone request a trade? It's been a while.
Yeah. Well, no, certainly. By the way, last night in college basketball too, Houston, which I had the team total under Kansas, which was 61.5. And I didn't watch the game. I woke up and like, oof, made it by, a field goal or two. 59 was their total. But I did see that because Zeke Mayo had an open 3-point shot, bricked it like to end the game. Like, of course, like I would have woke up, saw 62 points. Like, man, how'd they get there? Oh, a late triple that didn't mean anything. So that worked out. But it's one of those odd games where like Kansas was better for field goal percentage by 10%, way better on 3-point percentage and free throw percentage, and still got beat in that game because they turned them over so many times, that nasty defense that Houston plays. But now another loss for Kansas, like just starting to build up where I think Ben was talking about, like no longer like it's at Kansas 1, 2, 3, 4 seed. Like, are they going to be like a 10? Like one of the last seeds to get in is like a 10?
So I was watching Sports Center after the game last night, and they had Lenardi on, and he said he currently has them as a 7.
Yeah.
He said Bill Self's never been lower than a 4.
Yeah.
So now, look, they still have some games to be played, and you never know what they can do.
Does that change your opinion at all? Like, because I see them here at 80-1 on FanDuel. I don't think they're a very good team, but sometimes you just have to go back and like, they were the preseason number 1. I know it doesn't mean that much, but a preseason number 1 that makes the tournament at 80-1 and is a 7 seed who's like, I don't want to say they feel like they're getting disrespected because you got double-digit losses. What
100%.
is like? Sometimes I say I don't want any piece of them. Then I see the price and go, is that a team that can actually win 2 games in the tournament and turn me into a major profit?
Absolutely. For me, and but this is where, if you've waited this long, and this is why Donnie does it this way. I love that Kansas ticket. No matter what happens, as long as they're not an 8 or a 9 seed. I'm not playing Duke. I'm not playing Auburn. I'm not playing Houston. I'm not playing. No. I'm not doing that. I'd rather be a 10 seed. Slight favorite over the 7 probably. And maybe, and here's the thing: if you play a 2 seed, they're still good. You might get a 15 though. You never know, right? Like it just doesn't feel like the 1 seeds are going down this year, right? For me, famous last words, right? But that's just kind of the way I see it. I don't disagree with you. But to your point, Donnie, about all those rebounds, Calvin Sampson cracks me up, man. Again, like it's funny how you can end up having titles and or tickets on a team to win a title, and all the things that you used to dislike, you're like, I kind of love it now.
Yes,
Calvin Sampson goes, well, here's the thing, Scott. We actually haven't won a game like this. Like ugly, like we played terrible. This year we've been playing pretty basketball. We scored like 80 more. He sounds annoyed. He's like, we've scored 80 more than we ever have before. This was good. Like we couldn't make a shot tonight and we still won the game. And I'm like, I kind of agree with him. Let's get down in the mud, baby.
Exactly. Because sometimes you will look at Houston, and I've asked this question multiple times already. It's like, they play really good defense. Sometimes they don't shoot so well. They're slower tempo, which keeps other teams technically more in the game than if they were like a mid-level or even an up-tempo type team. And then you see games last night like, that's why I like them in the tournament. And this like 2 weeks ago, like, man, that's why I don't like them in the tournament because they can get beat. But on a game where I was asking Jay why he came on this one, I was like, if I just gave you the box score, what a big win by Kansas saving their season. And they got beat by 6 points. Like it doesn't even make like they won every statistical category except like getting rebounds and turning the basketball over. But you usually don't go on the road and shoot 45%. The home team shoots 35% and you get beat. It was wild the way that played out. And it worked in my favor because I did like that team total under. But you see the front line teams. It is Auburn, Duke, and Houston. And then you have a plethora of like SEC teams come in there. The Floridas, the Tennessees, the Alabamas. You get the point. I told you yesterday, digging in on Iowa State 20-1, Texas Tech at 30-1 makes some sense. Is there a team like a top 25 team, like we just talked about Kansas, right? 80-1. It's like, boy, that is a crazy price to pass up because some people will listen to the show and be like, that's stupid. And I tell you, they can win 2 basketball games. That ticket's 25-1, and the cash out value is probably going to give you more than you put in, and that's the name of the game, trying to turn a profit. Not that, oh, yeah, Donnie thinks that Kansas actually wins the championship. What an idiot at an 80-1 price. But is there a team that, like, you're out on? Like, even though 40-1, 30-1, there's still legitimate contenders in, like, the top 20 brackets. What's one team that you like, I can't be in on? Like a UConn, a Kentucky, a Maryland?
I don't want to touch it at all.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Who is
it? Good, probably Arizona, I would say, because I'm not betting on Caleb Love.
I never buy into them. Yeah,
I can't do Caleb Love. I want nothing to do with that. We're talking further down the board or just like, anywhere?
No, not ridiculous, but like a top 25 team, like not top 25, like the top 25 team that you're like, you know what? Well, I don't even like want to get down anything with them.
Don't you feel as if there's like no world you end up on a Tennessee future?
Correct. Yes, that's one team always. It's funny. I was going to ask you, Florida, Tennessee, or Alabama, in or out? Mine would have been Tennessee right off the bat every time.
Right.
Every time.
Like I ended up on it with a Tennessee ticket last year because Dalton Connect was to me so different than anything they had. They lost to Purdue, right? Tennessee went as far as they were supposed to go. So it kind of is what it is. I will say this. You've heard me say this now. Like I won't add another ticket. I won't add another ticket. But the Gonzaga, UConn, Kansas, Illinois, like preseason great teams that are now at monster numbers. Yeah. There's a part of me that's like, you know what? I could give you $10 and let's just see. That's kind of where I'm at.
We're going to go Auburn head to head next. Radio Moneyline.
You're listening to one of the last places on earth where a man can be a man and not get those looks.
Welcome aboard, good sir.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Progressive presents the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders. NCAA women's tournament action gets underway tomorrow in the first round of the SEC tournament. Number 18, Tennessee, is home against Texas A&M. Women's college basketball conference tournaments are underway tomorrow. Number 18, Tennessee, plays first round action against Texas A&M. Arkansas squares off with Georgia. Auburn takes on Florida, while Missouri faces Mississippi State. In the Big Ten, Minnesota battles Washington. Nebraska faces Rutgers. Iowa squares off with Wisconsin. Big 12, it's UCF against BYU. Houston faces Colorado. Cincinnati against Arizona State. Kansas takes on Texas Tech. ACC, it's Clemson battling Stanford. Virginia against Pitt, while Boston College tangles with Syracuse. A-10, George Washington against Loyola Chicago. St. Louis faces St. Bonaventure. LaSalle squares off with VCU. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive. That's the SportsGrid Sports Flash. I'm Chuck Sanders.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
When it comes to odds on daily sporting events, it's complicated when you factor in everything from current wind speed
to how hot a player's girlfriend is.
But you don't have to mess with that.
Just keep it here and listen.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Oh, yeah. By the way, conference tournaments underway this week. Majors conference tournaments next week. Selection Sunday that Sunday, and away we go, which means we're going to be dancing here, which I told you before the break, Kevin. Auburn versus Duke, plus 320, plus 350. Auburn's slight favorite there, Duke at the plus 350 price. Are we worried about Duke because it's going too well for Duke? Like, because I know we get caught up in something, boy, they are crushing everybody. That's a great sign, playing their absolute best basketball at the end of the season. But I look at those, and I even asked JY earlier today, I'm like, is it just too easy? Like, we fall things like, oh, no, Duke's in a round 2 struggle against, a mid-major team. Or is this the real Duke Blue Devils team where they are hitting their stride and just saying, we play better defense and offense than you, and we have better athletes, deal with it?
No, it's the second one. It's the second one. People are looking, not you, but people, they look for problems. Because, Donnie, let's play the other way. Down ACC. Every game's close. Duke's not that good.
Yeah.
They're not that good. They're surviving the ACC. I saw a tweet from someone, they just haven't played enough close games. Okay, well, hold on. Whoa, hold on.
Love that.
They played Auburn in a close game, okay? They played Clemson in a close game. They didn't get it done. They played Wake Forest in a close game. But again, why do you want them to play a close game against Boston College? Why do you want them to play a close game against SMU? They're smoking teams. Smoking them, Donnie. And let's just say this. I think you would agree. North Carolina's playing some better basketball. And if North Carolina beats Duke, they're definitely making the tournament because of the value of that win. If Duke goes out there and beats them by 15, 20 points, the takeaway should not be North Carolina's bad or we knew North Carolina was terrible. No, that's a dominant victory. Now, if you want Duke to play a close game there and win by 4 or 5, okay, right? But again, it's this weird thing where we're like, I wish they were winning by less. Listen, you won a couple close games. They've played a couple close games. I think it's good that they lost at Clemson. I think it's good that they were losing at Wake and came back and won the game. Donnie, the Illinois game was, this might be close. They beat them by 43. There's no way that's I wish that game was a 2-point game. I don't wish that game was a 2-point game. They slaughtered that team.
They got to know how to win in a struggle late. They are beating teams brainless in their own conference. And by the way, undefeated at Cameron Indoor this season for the Duke Blue Devils. John Shire, remember that? Good luck, John Shire. Handing off from a legend at this point. Dude is doing everything. Now, granted, if he can cap this off with a championship, then he just goes into everybody's living room. Look at these great players. Look at Cooper Flagg. Brought him in from Maine, superstar, number 1 overall pick. I can do that with you as well. That just sets up that food chain even more where there's usually, remember Jay Wright at Villanova? Wasn't bringing in the top 5-star, but bringing in good basketball players with a great system and winning. And every year he can sit in your living room you want to compete for championships, make it to the NBA? I can do that. And kids go, okay, let's do that. Then you get Kyle Neptune in there, and he's like, well, since Jay Wright left, we're not really that good. I hope you can come make our basketball team better. Look, man, I'm passing on that. I just don't trust it at this point. John Shire had that, I would go to Duke if Coach K was there. I mean, it's still Duke and maybe give him the benefit of the doubt. Man, that kid must be able to recruit, man. Getting Flagg in there was just huge, and look at what they're doing.
Yeah, next year he gets the Boozer twins, which was, now again, unfair advantage because Pops went to Duke.
Yep, true.
But they got him. So next year's supposed to be no different. Make no mistake about it. When they pop those odds up next year, Duke's not going to be anywhere outside of the top 3 to win the title. No matter what happens this year with this team, I'm telling you. And the thing is, because they're still Duke, Mason Gillis was a high-level contributor on a Purdue team that played in the title game last year.
Yep, championship level.
And he hit the portal to go be the 9th man on Duke. It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense. Mason Gillis should either be starting at Purdue or starting somewhere else.
Yes.
He went to Duke to go be the 9th man. That's bananas.
By the way, who was jog my memory here.
Yeah.
Who was the preseason player of the year that was a 6-man by game number 3? Who was that? Purdue?
Yes, Purdue? It was the big man. Oh, wow.
I can't remember his name, but that was one of the best things that after
favorite.
The player of the year he's going to win is my man gets 14 minutes a game. What are we doing here? Just an overall miss. Either the odds marker or who was actually going to do that at that point. But we do got a pretty good schedule tonight. Who was it? Do you find it?
Somebody out there on the radio. There he is. Look at him. Look at him. T. Williams. Trevion? Was his name Trevion? That doesn't even sound right.
So. I believe so. You're so caught up in running backs for Ohio State. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yeah, Trevion Williams. No, yeah, it's Trevion Williams. That's Trevion Henderson.
That's what I mean. Yeah, you're getting confused over there. Running back.
Why am I getting confused? Yep. I said the right name.
You said the name Trevion. I'm he's on Ohio State kick right now. It's all football kick at this point.
Oh,
Any college basketball looks tonight?
wow.
Because you got a big show coming up tonight.
Yeah, we
here.
do. We do have a big show, so we're gonna be. Yeah,
Mhm.
you want to come? You want to come on? You want to?
No,
you want a
not-
spot tonight? Why
Not
not?
necessarily.
No.
Relaxing. Just relaxing a bit. Baseball. It's almost baseball.
They got hot at me yesterday.
What happened?
We'll go behind the scenes.
Mhm.
So they wake up earlier than I do most days. So a bunch of texts. They're like, we got to do baseball today. Talking about yesterday.
Mhm.
Season starts in 2 weeks. So I ignored it. Like, let's just try and fill out the rest.
Yep.
So I get, a couple hours later, hey, we got to do baseball. And I'm like, we do not have to do baseball. Nobody even cares about those international games. The season is on Thursday, March 20th. I
When
knew
is
they
the
would be
international
upset.
games. Is that in the teens this month?
Yeah, it's in I think it's, I want to maybe say St. Patty's Day could be starting.
Like right in the middle of college basketball, which again, I will pay attention to. I won't be betting. I do think it's kind of interesting, but no, sports have such an odd, we couldn't have this and I always say we couldn't have this in late June. They could do this series.
Hold on though. Why can't it be just like soccer and we do our preseason games? Why?
Yeah.
I don't get it. See, you say that, Donnie, for a lot of other stuff, and I hear it. I don't know how. I don't disagree, but you cannot have teams go over there, play real games, come back, and be like, "Yeah, we still have more preseason to play."
Yeah, Eagles open up on a Thursday night, show them the Super Bowl trophy, then go play 3 preseason games, then come back to the season. Make it make sense. It doesn't. Don't make it make any sense, people. We got one more segment left. Maybe a little NBA action, maybe some hot topics. Oh yeah, the Bengals hot topic next. Get ready.
This is the place.
This is where you'll get expert perspectives and sports gaming strategies 24/7.
And it's free.
Beat that, you cheap. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network. The new SportsGrid app is now available on iOS and the App Store. Experience the ultimate sports betting companion that provides personalized content from your favorite hosts. In-depth matchup previews, game and prop picks, live odds, stats, scores, and more. All in one place. And of course, on the SportsGrid app, you can tune into our live television and radio coverage anytime. On the go, wherever you are. Download the SportsGrid app on the iOS App Store now. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Imagine combining the exciting investment opportunity of cryptocurrencies with the power of artificial intelligence to maximize your IRA, 401k, or other investment funds. Listen, if you're looking for ways to accelerate your retirement growth, Block Trust IRA has market-leading strategies and solutions for all levels of investors, from $1,000 to millions. And they partner with Bitcoin Magazine's #1 crypto trading fund in the world to maximize your returns. Plus, their team of IRA specialists is here to help you roll over your IRA or qualified retirement account to the new world of cryptocurrency investments. So make this free call right now to set up your account and learn more.
800-434-5313. 800-434-5313. 800-434-5313. That's 800-434-5313.
Game time decisions.
The Giants and Raiders won't be making any mistakes. Oh, really? Are you sure? Because one team looks like they're going to sign the most toxic player in the entire league, and the other team's going to give Sam Darnold $45 million. I don't know. Maybe Matty Staff in the black and silver would have been a nice move instead of paying Sam Darnold franchise quarterback money.
It's Game Time Decisions with Kevin Walsh and crew. Weekdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific on the SportsGrid Radio Network. Think of us as your cool roommate that has this innate gift of somehow always picking winners and never bugs you about doing the dishes or paying rent. Sports gaming strategies and information 24/7.
Get the winning edge.
This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.
Kev's got a topic here before we get out of here. Before I blast the Bengals once again. Huffing he is over there. What do you got?
No, yeah, you know what? Because this is how I get with the NFL draft, man. All right, so we've got a scenario right now where everybody seems to be aware that the Tennessee Titans are going to trade the pick to the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
The reports are nonstop.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the NFL draft, Donnie, you know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get to the point where you're like, all right, well, why am I not just like taking free money if it's free money? Like the Titans are minus 105 to pick first. The Giants are minus 105 to pick first. But let's forget that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Because what has been made abundantly clear now through all reporting, Donnie, is that they're going to take Cam Ward.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm now just going to come over to the Donnie side of it.
Yes.
The first pick of the draft is going to be a quarterback because, of course, it's going to be a quarterback.
Yes.
Like at this point, look, I'm not telling you to do something that would damage your potential future. But should we not all be betting minus 220 Cam Ward to go first overall?
Like a Geno. Like a Geno.
Just a little, like free money. We'll, in about 6 weeks, it'll pop up in the account. You'll be like, nice, glad I did that. Like, is that where we are right now?
Yeah, I think you are. Because I don't know how, other than, again, Cam Ward blowing his ACL out on pro day, how is he not number one? Like that you are betting against him not getting into a car crash or tearing his ACL. That's the bet.
See, you know what? Also now, no more pro days. I'm now out on pro. Like, if you're Cam Ward, why are you having a pro day? For who?
I don't know.
For the Saints? Like, I want Cam Ward to be like, I'm having a pro day. And then when a team like the Vikings Don is like, we're going to come. Like, no, you're not. You're not coming to my pro day, Minnesota.
Or you know what?
Like,
Vikings, you want to show up? Like, we just watched Cam Ward. He threw 10 checkdowns and walked off the field. Like, these guys got enough. You guys see it? Look at his throw to the running back. All right, that's good. Everybody was down here. Because now, is he going to do one of those where you take care of your players, Kevin, right? Because, there's a lot of players at Miami trying to get looks at the league. The biggest pro day is going to be Miami. Get a look at Cam Ward. He shows up, throws 1 or 2 passes, dips out, and be like, you're all here. Might as well watch the fellas.
I mean, it's not a bad take. Let me throw this your way, though. Because this is something that I can't figure out. I don't like. Do you like the idea of the Giants trading up for number 1 and bringing in Aaron Rodgers?
No, that's stupid. That's one of the dumbest things ever. Like, Cam Ward's going to be your guy. Let him rip. That'd be unbelievable if they did that. Now, I thought you were going to, you mind them they trading up. I don't, even though it's going to cost them 2 ones. But, that would be like Joe Shane. Like, can you imagine, Aaron Rodgers holding back? Like, you would get the best version of Aaron Rodgers you ever had just because he wants to hold off Cam Ward, which would be hilarious. And then you'd have, an Atlanta franchise where, hey, look, if Michael Penix never gets on the field for his whole career, unbelievable draft pick because that means Kirk Cousins was good. It's like, no, that's not what it means. That means you're an idiot there if you thought that. It's like, Cam Ward's the best player in this draft. Let's start him in 4 years. Stop. You can't do it, man. You can't do it.
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like, if you're like, we need Rodgers because we need to win now.
Yes.
Because otherwise we're going to get fired. Okay, well then don't take a quarterback for the future. Take Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. What are you doing? What are you doing? It doesn't even make sense.
They're sitting such a great spot, too. And they just didn't win that last game. Same with the picture of the New England Patriots, who think they have their quarterback and be the number 1 overall pick. The stupidity. I really think that's why, Gerard Mayo got fired. He didn't listen to the marching orders. No matter what, you will not win a football game. You will be back with the number 1 pick and a ton of money to spend, and you'll be a great coach. You're just not smart enough to be a great coach. You're out of here.
The other thing that's crazy to me, I saw they try and figure out. They look those charts, Donnie, right? That tell you what each draft pick's worth.
Charts, yeah, sure.
There's a thing out there, and again, Donnie's going to end up coming out a big winner of this draft cycle. It said that it's going to cost the Giants the 3rd pick, the 34th pick, and next year's first rounder.
Yes,
just to jump Cleveland. The Tennessee Titans might be the best rated franchise in the history of football. They pull that off. You got to be kidding me. I am not giving you, Donnie. That's essentially 3 first-round picks. No.
Yes,
no.
Here's the best part about it. Don't you remember when the Giants won that game? Look, if we want a quarterback, we'll just trade up for it. And you're hitting yourself in the head going no, don't you know how expensive? There's literally what they're talking, there's 1 quarterback in this draft now. Shador's going to go somewhere, but he's an afterthought. And it's the Giants, well, we could have been 1, but it's that was a big team win we got for the Colts. And we can always trade up and get our quarterback if we need that. Hey!
Chaos, man.
I
don't get it.
Chaos corner.
The Titans don't even want a quarterback.
No, they don't.
And they got the Giants over a barrel.
7 first-round picks out of the New York Giants. Get ready, people. It's Moneyline. JP behind the wheels of steel. Anyway, Kevin Walsh. We'll listen tomorrow. We're out of here.
It's easy to get SportsGrid almost anywhere with our mobile app.
So give us a break.
We're not going to tap your screen for you. This is the SportsGrid Radio Network.